Hi, everybody. I finally got a minute where I can sit down and breathe for a little bit. I've been really, really busy. But I wanted to talk about what happened last night in the elections, which was, of course, a disaster. It was just basically a clean sweep across the board for the blue team. For the Democrats, they took, of course, the big one, I guess, was the New York City mayoral race with the Muslim socialist winning handily. We lost the governor's seat in Virginia, the lieutenant governor's seat, and the attorney general's seat in Virginia. And there were a slew of other lesser races, I suppose, that were won by the Democrats across the board. I was looking at Minneapolis, the mayor's race. There was no choice there. I think the guy that, I forget his name, but anyway, he's a disaster, but he at least won re-election. It was just a bad night. It was a slaughter. For those of us that still have a little bit of common sense, but it didn't need to happen. And I want to talk about why it did happen from where I sit anyway. Because it was just, we brought so much of this on ourselves. When I say we, I'm talking about the GOP and its figurehead right now, the leader of the party, Donald Trump. Donald Trump, in my opinion, has in no small measure sold us a bill of goods, and I want to get into that here in just a moment. As I have said many times, Donald Trump has done a lot of good things for our country, in my estimation. By the way, we're still under the lockdown, not the lockdown, that was COVID, the shutdowns, the government shutdown, which has not affected me one single bit. I don't know about you. I know it has affected some, and there are some employees of the federal government that are not these non-essential employees, such as TSA agents and things of this nature that we do need, that are, and people in the military and what have you, that it is affecting. That fact is not lost on me. But there is so much fraud. I hope this is what is happening. There's so much fraud in the EBT, SNAP programs, with so much of these funds being directed toward illegal aliens, for example. It is such a corrupt segment of government of the entitlement programs we have in the United States, and I suspect that the efforts are being made to root out some of this corruption. I hope that's the case. And I believe it is. I suspect that now that the election cycle, this particular election cycle, is over, that the shutdown will probably draw to a close. I think it was to the Democrats' benefit for there to be a shutdown at election time, because typically whoever's in charge is going to get blamed for it by the low information voters. Trump undoubtedly, and the GOP took the blame for the shutdown, and the voters reacted as they did last evening. That has to be a component of what happened. But I want to give you my thoughts as to why this happened, and my thoughts are basically summarized in a post from X that appeared from my favorite congressman, and maybe yours as well, Thomas Massie. There's a couple of really good, relevant posts that I would commend to you. One is from the great attorney Robert Barnes, and I highly recommend that you familiarize yourself with Robert Barnes. He has been on the Duran multiple times. He's excellent. He is on social media. He's on X, I know, and I'm not going to regurgitate his posts, which are largely the way that largely the content are my own thoughts, but it's lengthy. And if you can find it, I would commend that to you. But Thomas Massie kind of encapsulates it in much shorter bullet points that I want to read to you real quick. It's very short, and then I want to get to my own thoughts. But Thomas Massie simply said this on X today: to avoid a repeat of last night's shellacking in the 2026 midterms, Republicans should do this. Number one, quit covering for pedophiles. It is time to release the Epstein files. This nonsense has got to stop. And I am so disappointed that Donald Trump is so utterly tone deaf and he continues to poo-poo the idea that these files need to be released. The American people, a lot of the American people, want to know the content of the Epstein files. These could be released. They are readily available. All you've got to do is release them. But our government has the tendency to just keep these things under wraps for whatever reason may be. It may be because of who the files implicate. That's probably what it is. I don't care. I don't care who's on the list. I don't care if Trump's on the list. I don't care who's on the list. Just release the damn files. That's what we have been told would happen, and it has not happened, and there's no reason, no legitimate reason for that to not have happened. Release the files. They've done the same thing with the Kennedy files, which Trump ordered to be released. They have not been released. They died in Congresswoman Luna's of Florida, her committee, who doesn't know what on earth is going on. I don't want to get bogged down. That's a whole nother video right there. Number 2, he says, put America before Israel. I'm going to go off on that here in just a minute with my own words. He says, number 3, put farmers before corporations. I absolutely agree. Number 4, quit funding wars abroad. Absolutely. Number 5, reduce spending to control inflation. And number 6, quit attacking independent voices. As you know, Donald Trump has declared war on Thomas Massie and basically Rand Paul when it comes right down to it, which is so ironic when you think there's nobody more MAGA in the GOP than Thomas Massie. This is a man who is for all the right things, reducing government spending, reducing the size of government. You can't get, and ending our foreign meddling all across the world. You can't get more MAGA than that. There's nobody more MAGA than Thomas Massie. And ironically, Trump, who vowed to end the deep state, end the swamp, has declared war on the very man that is the exact opposite of what the swamp is. And I'm going to tell you right now, Thomas Massie is going to win his reelection, and it's going to humiliate Donald Trump, and he deserves it. He deserves it. I've already sent money to Thomas Massie. I don't want him just to win. I want him to humiliate this token opposition that Trump has put his forces behind in that Kentucky, I think it's Kentucky 4, the congressional district where Massie is. By the way, congratulations to Thomas Massie. He recently remarried. As you know, he was widowed about a year and a half ago, but he has remarried, and congratulations to him. I cannot believe the vicious comments that were left on his wall on X by people, meddling people who are making something that is none of their business their business. You know, if you can't say something good about Representative Massie on his nuptials, remember what our mama said, if you can't say something good, don't say nothing at all. Just keep your mouth shut. If you can't say congratulations, I mean, there are people saying the most vile things. I'm getting sidetracked, I know. All I can say to him is congratulations, and I wish him and his new bride every happiness. That's what everybody should be saying. Now, we have lost the narrative, folks, and this is why we lost last night. Donald Trump promised us that his administration would be all about putting America first. Okay? In some ways, he has held to that promise. In other ways, he has not. He has strayed wildly from that narrative, as you know. Last night in New York City, the people there, many of them low information voters, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, and he's right about that. He's wrong about a lot, but he was right about that. Put this Mamdani, this socialist Muslim, into the mayor's office, the man who, in my opinion, should not even be in our country. I think that he has violated immigration laws. I think he should be arrested and deported. That's my feelings on the matter. Instead, once again, Pam Bondi's Justice Department's where things that need action go to die is her desktop. Instead, he was elected over Cuomo last night in the mayor's race. Why was he elected? I'm going to tell you why he was elected last night. Number one, people are angry at a lot of things, but Mamdani, and hear me out on this and understand what I'm saying. This is not an endorsement, God forbid, of Mamdani. But do you know what Mamdani did to get elected mayor of New York City? It's very simple. He had a New York City first message, and that's why he was elected. He was talking about all these grandiose plans he had and how he was going to help people in New York City. He was going to do this and he was going to do that, and he was going to make life better for every New Yorker. And his audience, his target audience, these low information voters who largely hate Trump and hate the GOP, blame him for all of their ills, that message resonated with their vote, with the voters, and that's why he was elected. It's as simple as that. And he has to be commended for this, because that's exactly, if I was running for president or dog catcher of my particular town, my message would be my town first. I'm running for the school board or the mayor or the council because I'm putting my community first. That is a message that voters want to hear, and that was Mamdani's message last night. He was putting New York City first. Now, of course, his plans, his ideas are completely antithetical to the American idea, whatever it may be at this day and age. But that resonated with the voters, and they put him in office because of that. That is not the message that Donald Trump is sending currently. I've been wanting to talk for a while about the great divide within MAGA and or the Republican Party. The Republican Party is split right now, and I'm going to tell you why it's split. It is split for a myriad of reasons, but none greater than this. The Republican Party is split on this one particular issue, in my opinion, more than any other. And it is because of politicians, from Donald Trump to Lindsey Graham to Tel Aviv Ted Cruz, and on it goes. It is split among politicians in the GOP who put another nation's interest ahead of our interests. And of course, I have in mind the state of Israel, for whom people like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham have pledged their allegiance and taken money from AIPAC, from the Israeli lobby, because they value the safety and security and welfare of Israel more than they do the very nation they were elected to serve. And this has caused a rift. This has caused a canyon-like divide within the GOP. You see it every day on social media. You see it on political shows on television. You see where the line has been drawn. And you've got people like the aforementioned Cruz and Graham, and on it goes. Randy Wise, this Jewish representative from Florida, who is Israel first. They take money from Israel and they do Israel's bidding. And you've got the other side of the GOP, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, who are saying enough of this. We want politicians, American politicians, who put America first. I was saying to my wife yesterday, how would you feel if just some random nation, pick a nation, any nation, I picked Peru, how would you feel if the majority of American politicians were taking money from the Peruvian lobby to do the bidding of Peru? How would you feel about that? Would you be scratching your head going, what the hell is going on? We didn't elect you to represent Peru. Now, how is Israel any different? There is no legitimate reason anyone can give that would justify any American politician from doing the bidding of the state of Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu. I have had it up to here with Israel and any other foreign government for which we would do the bidding. Our politicians would do their bidding instead of ours. We're Americans. You're supposed to be serving us, not Israel, not Ukraine, not some other nation. That is where the dividing line is. And this had an effect last night on the elections, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you right now, the midterms are coming up next year. And if Donald Trump doesn't wise up and get off the Netanyahu bandwagon, we're going to get shellacked next year. His disapproval ratings are through the roof right now. He has fallen out of favor with a significant number of the electorate, certainly with independents who swing any election. Trump's lost them. And the only way he's going to get them back is to change his policy with regard to doing the bidding of Israel and, of course, Ukraine. You remember Donald Trump before his election was talking about how he was going to end the war in Ukraine. We've had enough, or we're getting out. We're not going to do the bidding of Ukraine anymore. That's what we were told, and that is exactly what not has happened. Got to let the cat out. And he has done the exact opposite. And the American people are saying enough. We've had enough of this. We want you to do the bidding of America and America only, not Ukraine. We are tired of Ukraine. What we've got right now is a continuation of the Bush-era policies. You know, Dick Cheney died yesterday, but his philosophy did not die. I don't know why the Cheneys don't support Donald Trump. He's doing exactly what they would have done. Maybe it's because they thought he wouldn't, but he is. And now we're on the cusp of yet another Vietnam, this time another Venezuela. We have lost our collective minds, and Donald Trump has fallen under the influence and under the thumb of the deep state with regard to the expansion of the American footprint abroad. It was Ukraine, it was Afghanistan, it was Libya, it was Serbia, and on it goes. And now it's going to be Venezuela. This is not what we voted for. Donald Trump was preaching a different sermon, and that's largely why he got elected, in my opinion. But once he gets in office, he changes course, he shifts gears, and he does exactly what George W. Bush would have done. He does exactly what Barack Obama would have done, and here we are again with no change, none whatsoever. You can't stand up in the Oval Office and preach America first when you're simply continuing Bush-Obama-era, Biden-era policies that you vowed to reverse. This is just going to get you beat again at the midterms. Right now, I don't know what a Vance presidency would be like, how different it might be. I suspect it would be different because Vance is no idiot. He is watching what's going on. I wish I would be fine if Donald Trump would simply resign and turn the keys over to Vance right now. I don't know if things would improve, but I can't imagine that Vance is not watching and learning. We need more Thomas Masseys and Rand Pauls in Congress. Instead, we're getting Trump declaring war on people like Massey and Rand Paul and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who actually went on The View. I didn't watch it, but I've seen clips of it, and she did very well. Instead, you've got Trump in bed with people like Lindsey Graham and Tel Aviv Ted Cruz and Randy Wise. I mean, can you believe it? You've got a man running for Senate in South Carolina next year, Paul Dans, D-A-N-S, wonderful candidate. And Donald Trump has thrown his full support behind Lindsey McCain Graham. To say that I am disappointed in Donald Trump would be a major understatement. I'm disgusted right now because what happened last night should not have happened. It need not have happened, but here we are. Those are my thoughts on what happened last night. Something happened that did not need to happen. And if Donald Trump had simply remained true to the word he gave us, I don't believe it would have happened. And I'm still waiting to see some perp walks from Obama and Biden officials. I'm still waiting for perp walks from people like Mamdani and these clowns, these Muslims in Minnesota that do not need to even be in America, much less in elective office. What are your thoughts on Sharia law? I thought we had laws already. I didn't know we needed Sharia law. Those are my thoughts. Got back from the doctor yesterday. Had a great checkup. Great report from my doctor. Thank the Lord. The last year's physical, I went, did I shift gears on you or what? My cholesterol was over 300 last year, and the doctor wanted to put me on a statin, and I said, I don't think so. So I got my blood drawn again yesterday and just got my results back, and my cholesterol is 180. Hallelujah, right? And Marina went. She got great numbers as well, so we're in pretty good health right now, and I'm very grateful for that. All right. I'm glad you watched. Give me your comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Everybody take care. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.